Hey, what's up, and welcome in to Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Thanks so much for downloading the podcast and checking us out on YouTube, youtube.com. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment to everything we do on Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Thank you so much for your support. Today, it's a special show. You know why? Because today, it's LA versus space. Yes, that's why we have our guys, LA and space, and they'll go back and forth on some of the hot topics around sports, Chicago, and otherwise. Make sure that you lock in with us as we are presented by Marriott Bonvoy. Marriott Bonvoy is great for you or your family. Listen, it's very simple. I use Marriott Bonvoy. You should use it as well. When I go to trips, I always use Marriott Bonvoy. Click the link that's in the bio. That way you can be able to get the savings I get with Marriott Bonvoy, the proud partner of Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. It is time for LA versus space, and there he is right there. There he is, the man. He is a man of the people, the voice of Chicago sports. No matter what street corner he's on, it's LA.
Let's not get carried away there, young fella. I'm just a man who watches sports and has opinions on them, like just under 3 million other Chicagoans. That's all that I am.
But yours is louder, a bigger megaphone. Yeah, that is. You gotta tell me that's not true. That's right.
And my voice carries, if that's what you mean. My voice does carry from time
Yes,
to time.
yes. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. How are you today?
I am great. You know why?
Eh,
Because we're on at a great time, especially when there's breaking news, right? I mean, we always talk about sports and culture on LA versus space, but a day like
Absolutely.
today, there is some news that we can be able to start off with. If you're looking for space, well, we've already started recording, and space is not here. One thing about LA and we have a lot in common, but we understand time. We understand time. We start off at the top of the hour, and guess who's here? LA's right on time. He understands. Yeah, he understands. Oh, you know what? We LA, we were going to start the show, and I had the topic ready. But you know what? Guess who just decided to show up?
Oh,
Oh,
there
Oh
he
man,
is.
yes.
hey,
There he
hey,
is.
I got kids, man. My
Mm,
kids, my
C
kids had me under.
CPT. CPT.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. How y'all
Show's
feeling,
already
fellas?
started. Yeah, we're on topic 4. So you ready for it? We've already started. You see, when you're older like LA and we have is time. We're just trying to capture every minute.
Yeah.
We can't
There's
be late because we don't know if tomorrow's promised.
Oh
we
yeah.
we
You know what? And I apologize. I gotta be better at that. Hey,
we
charge it to my head, not my heart. Ain't that what they
me
say?
me and Hood have had more time than we have. Okay? We've had more time than we have. So no more CPT.
Facts.
Okay, facts. It's gonna when it starts hitting your wallet, you'll be on time.
It's funny how that works. It's a great motivator.
LA,
Cat.
what do you think, sir, the fine system should be for young space when he's late for the show?
Mm,
What do you think the fine should be?
mm. Less mic time, no Alexander James whiskey.
Oh, you can't do
Mm.
that to me now. Not the
Oh,
Alexander James.
now that I know that's what you want, you ain't gonna get it. Thanks for helping us out. That was
That's
easy.
that's
That
a
was easy.
veteran there. He got you.
That was easy.
The old veteran LA got you. So now we know. So we got 4 topics that's on the board here for LA versus space. Make sure that you leave your comments on everything we talk about on LA versus space. Let's start off with the first topic, guys. And it's great that we're on here tonight because we need to take a look at the needs for the Chicago Bears. We got 4 topics that's starting to come up on the screen here. But I think first we should talk about this one right here. What is the number one need in the draft or free agency for the Chicago Bears? Based on what we know now regarding Drew Dahlman's retirement, maybe the answer changes. But LA, we'll start with you. 5 minutes on the clock. The number one need in the draft or free agency for the Bears today.
I still feel that they need to shore up that pass rush, whether it be a defensive tackle preferably a defensive end that can get around the corner, come around that horn, and put that up, pressure the quarterback of the other team to get outside of that pocket or put him on his back to help speed up his processing and speed up his clock, make him either throw the ball away before he's ready to get rid of it, give him some happy feet, or put him on his backside. You have to pressure the quarterback. That is the way to win football games in the National Football League. You look no further than the most recent Super Bowl, and the Seahawks made life miserable for the Patriots quarterback. And that is the key to the winning in the NFL. Obviously, you got to score points. And I think the Bears are headed in the right direction. Offensively, yes, they lost their center, Drew Dalman, who unexpectedly retired at age 27. But not too much of a surprise because his father retired at age 30. So, it's not too big of a surprise. I think the Commanders center is a free agent, and he's already visiting the Bears. He's already scheduled to visit the Bears. So I think that will be a plug and play. Maybe it's a slight upgrade. Maybe it's a slight downgrade. Who knows? But I absolutely need to shore up that defensive line. You've got to get some pressure. I know people are clamoring for Max Crosby. I'm a guy who is never in favor of trading 2 first-round picks. And if that's what it's going to cost you for Max Crosby, then we're not going to have a Max Crosby, in my opinion. That's just me. The Bears, to my recollection, have traded 2 first-round draft picks 3 times. They traded 2 for Jay Cutler, and that led to a 500 record over several seasons. They traded 2 for Mitchell Trubisky. Well, no, they did a pick swap for Mitchell Trubisky, but they traded 2 for Khalil Mack, and it led to a great season in 2018. Yeah. But in the end, did it come to fruition? No, it left gaping holes on the roster for the years after because you did not have a first round pick to fill other gaps in the roster. And then they traded a pick swap and another pick the following year for Justin Fields. And I guess we have to say that was also a massive failure. I am not in favor. I can understand if your team was right there on a cusp. You just lost the Super Bowl. Maybe you just barely missed the Super Bowl. And that player that you were bringing in was definitely the final piece to catapult you over the top. I don't think that Max Crosby does that with the Bears. Does he make them a whole lot better? Absolutely. But at what cost? Because at some point in time, there are lots of players on this roster whose contracts are going to be up, and you're going to have to open up the vault, especially with that quarterback position. You got young talent on the offensive side of the ball all over the place. You got offensive linemen that are going to want new contracts, and then you won't have any money to trade for free agencies or to sign anyone in free agency, and you won't have any picks to draft anyone either. So you got to get it right in the draft. You have to identify a bona fide number 1 stud pass rusher, throw him out on that field, and let's get it done.
LA, I'm so happy this Drew Dalman unexpected retirement didn't waver you too much. I agree. Center, I think we have enough to kind of hide, a mediocre center for the moment. We got Joe Tooney coming off an amazing year, lineman of the year, so I think center is not the necessary need right now. Left tackle, nor. I think the bottom line is you were right on the head. Now, I would say a defensive end is my personal preference. I think we need some pressure on the inside. I would love a nice, stout, beefy guy in the middle because we spent money on guys that, you know what I'm saying? But
not good.
What? Not good at all. But you said no to Max Crosby. I'm so happy we can disagree on that. What? Just 2 first rounders? That's all it's going to take? You can have them. It's going to be late first rounders anyway because the Bears, I believe Max Crosby is that person to take us over the hump. As long as we clear up some cap room, I love DJ Moore, but, it might be time for him to go. I think our 2 young pass catchers are doing an amazing job. Colson Loveland had an amazing year, and I can't wait to see Luther Burton play every down and distance. I think that's going to be a great tandem right there. Not to mention Rome is coming back. So you get rid of some cap space with DJ Moore, and then you go ahead and you get Max Crosby. I believe you get Max Crosby. That might, as long as you sign Kevin Byard, as long as you draft well, you get a nice safety, you get another, some more defensive guys. As long as you get some talent in the draft, I believe Max Crosby can make us over the hump. But let me say this: Myles Garrett is for sure. He would take us over the hump, but that's too expensive, too rich for our bluff. But Max Crosby, I'm all in for 2 first rounders. Sign. Where do I sign? I signed today.
You also mentioned DJ Moore, so you're gonna get 2 picks and DJ Moore for Crosby?
Now, that's a good question. Possibly.
Wow.
Possibly.
Wow.
No, that's a good question. No, I'm not doing that. That's a lot. DJ Moore is. See, I love the idea of DJ Moore to Baltimore. I can't remember where I heard. I think I heard it on another show or something like that. But Baltimore needs a receiver, and I think he's an excellent guy for them. I would love to talk to Baltimore about a trade for DJ Moore, get something back for him, and then talk to Vegas for Max Crosby. I would definitely do. If all you're asking for is 2 firsts, I would do that for Max Crosby. And I believe he takes us over the hump.
I gave you 3 examples of trading 2 first-round picks and how those things turned out. I can give you one more example. The Packers traded 2 first-round picks and a quality defensive tackle, and then the guy they traded for, and they gave him a boatload of money. He got hurt, and what happened to their season? Yeah. I just don't invest that much capital in one player who's one injury away from just sinking your battleship. That's just me. It's just me.
What regime did these trades happen for the Bears? Who
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's two different regimes. It doesn't matter. The regime that traded for them, it's just a principle of mine. Unless that player is like you said, a Myles Garrett, who's a known 100% difference maker, can blow the top off of a game. Yeah, I'll trade.
Crosby killed us every time he plays us. He was 7th in sacks since the Bears every time.
Exactly.
But he's a force. He's 7th in sacks since coming into the league. That's a player difference maker.
Let me just say this: I am not taking the Drew Dahlman retirement lightly. The idea that you just plug in somebody will be just fine. I will give you Exhibit A, Sam Mustipher, or I'll give you Ryan Bates. It is not easy, because the one thing that we could take a look at with this Bears team is that they were an iron gate on the offensive line. Even though it was rotating on the left tackle, one of the reasons why the Caleb was able to flourish or have time to have these crazy throws is because the offensive line gave time. That offensive line also opened up the running game. It opened up everything. So to miss 2 offensive linemen here, listen, it happens in the NFL where players miss time for whatever reason, but this is something that Ryan Poles has to key in on. Not saying it's got to be the top of the draft or the first priority in free agency, but you got to get that right, because that's one of the reasons why the offense worked. So Dahlman leaving, I'm glad he did it now and not in August. I'm glad he did it now so that way you can figure things out. Let's go to our next topic here on LA versus Space, and that is regarding the Bulls and the White Sox. All right, so which rebuild do you trust more? It's funny, it's both Reinsdorf's teams, so this will be the world's tallest dwarf for this one. Bulls or White Sox, which rebuild do you trust more? Space, 5 minutes on the clock.
I don't trust neither. I'm gonna just come out and say, but if I had to pick one, I hate to go this way, but I guess I'm going towards the Bulls. I have seen AK do something. This starts, first off, let me clarify. This starts with getting rid of AK. This starts with cleaning house completely. But when I seen them this season finally get rid of Vooch, finally get rid of Kobe White, the one I thought I wanted to keep Ayo, but they finally got rid of Ayo, and they made some moves so that I don't know why they fell in love with second round picks, but we didn't get not one first rounder. It's hard to trust them. You got me rethinking it right now. But if I had to pick one, I guess I got to say the Bulls. You finally clean house. That's what I'm saying. The Sox, I love the direction that they're going. They're young boys. We got a lot of young talent that's coming up. We got the number 1 pick. I mean, come on, man. The future's bright for the Sox. But right now, I like the fact that we clean house when it comes to the Bulls. I think you can build around Buzelis. You know, he can't be a 1 for you. I don't think he can be a 1A, 1B type person. He can be a 2, even better if he's your third best player. But he can be a okay 2. You could build around Giddy. You know, so you got some young guys that's some young talent there. But neither one of them give me, butterflies in the stomach. But if I had to pick one right now today, I guess I'm gonna go with the Bulls.
Yeah. Who's the summer school valedictorian? That's what you're asking. Who's the summer school valedictorian? You're still dumb, but you got to graduate. And I reluctantly have to say the Bulls simply because basketball is the one sport where one player, a single player, can come in and change your entire operation. They can change direction of your franchise with one single solitary player. I don't trust, as long as Major League Baseball does not have a salary cap and a salary minimum that each team has to pay. I can't trust the White Sox. I just can't. They still remain the only out of the 30 Major League Baseball teams to not have signed a player for a contract worth $100 million or more.
That's ridiculous.
Andrew Benintendi is the highest paid Chicago White Sox of all time with a contract valued at $75 million. In a world where teams have players worth more, whose salary counts for mortgage to cap than the White Sox entire roster, I can't trust them. I just can't. I know that Reinsdorf's son is supposed to be taking over. Someone else is supposed to be taking over for the White Sox pretty soon. But as long as the old man is around, I just don't see them ever spending any money. It's almost the same, sad to say, as the Chicago Blackhawks with Bill Wirtz. He was just miserly. That would be an insult to misers to call Bill Wirtz a miser. I'd be insulting misers all over the world. But it didn't take long after he sadly passed away. It was a couple of years later, and they were in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, I think that a changing of the guard needs to happen with the Bulls and both the White Sox for this to ever get turned around completely. But you can't trust the baseball team simply because they just won't spend money. The White Sox will not spend money. They just won't. And so, and in basketball, like I said, you get that one player. The ping pong balls fall your way in the upcoming NBA draft lottery, and you end up picking up one player, and he turns out to be that guy. Your franchise turns around immediately. You automatically become the story. You automatically become relevant. You automatically become a playoff team, and then you automatically can build around him. Do I trust the current AK? Absolutely not. He's building a foreign legion team. Everyone's from somewhere else but here. I mean, oh my God, you got Buzelis and you got Josh Giddey from Australia. It's just, come on, man. The kid from France. No, why are you drafting all these guys from all over the world? That's some homegrown talent.
Don't get it twisted, though. He drafted and paid Patrick Williams from here, from United States. Terrible.
Can I change my answer? Can I change my answer to none of the above? C, none of the above. It's just bad, man. But yeah, I'll stick with the Bulls simply because Major League Baseball has no salary cap, and the White Sox apparently have no salaries. So no, it's got to be the Bulls. Got to be the Bulls.
And bottom line, I don't think, like you said, it's all about also cleaning house. Without a new regime in the front office,
and
neither French.
And coach.
I hear you with the Billy Donovan. I had to go dive into it, do a little research. I hear you with the Billy Donovan comment. I liked him for young people. I like what he did in college. I like what he was doing when he had OKC and all them young studs. But again, Billy Donovan made it clear he doesn't want to be part of a rebuild. So you do have to cut house with.
So he basically doesn't want to be a part of what he's been doing since he's been here.
That's a fact. Yeah. Well, you let them tell it. They're not rebuilding. They're retooling. They're just changing a few things up. They still got a shot.
I'm just your humble narrator. However, I would say, and the name you're looking for, LA, is Matt Ishbia. The Ishbia family will be owning the White Sox at some point.
Okay, that's it.
Listen, now money doesn't necessarily mean winning, but it increases your chances to win when you spin on the field. So As a White Sox fan myself, I'm optimistic about the young guys. But the thing is that I'm looking forward to new ownership with the Ishbias more so than the new guys, because with new ownership, that means that the young guys that are good are going to get paid in arbitration.
You can keep them.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there's that.
Them.
And so that Ishbia thing is not with the Bulls. That's just for the White Sox. That's what they want. They want the baseball team, which probably means they'll be moving to another location and whatever. But I feel more optimistic about a rebuild for the White Sox to slowly get to where they want to be with new ownership and money into it than the same old with the Bulls.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you that I disagree with you, but with those two franchises right now, I just that old adage that the light at the end of a tunnel is an oncoming train. I think it's an oncoming missile. Is what it is. It's not even a train. He's blow it all up.
Yeah, a question with that one is that leaning some on the fact that there might be a lockout? The lockout next year might help with the whole contract situation, with the whole paying of players and things like that. Is that helping the answer? We believe that lockout is really going to happen, and that can help you lean more towards the Sox.
I mean, I'll lean toward the Sox just based on what's on the field. Money-wise, we're just waiting for something to happen to Jerry Reinsdorf, where he retires or expires, whatever there, and then the Ishbias take over. What will happen in this lockout is, and it happens all the time, the owners have the players by the balls. Why?
Yeah,
the owners are the millionaires, billionaires, and the players, well, if you're not saving your money, they'll be crawling, begging to come back, crawling through glass to be able to come back. Like, please, my wife spends too much money, or I spend too much money. I gotta get back on the field. So this is why every time that there's a negotiation, baseball in particular, not basketball, baseball, where it's like, the owners are prepared to lock you out for a year plus because they got money. Players don't. There's a difference.
Yeah.
So I mean, it'll be maybe a ceiling and floor when it comes to how the players are paid with this new negotiation. But my hope is, as a baseball fan, it's not all season, but the owners are prepared to lock the players out as long as possible so they can get theirs. That's how it works.
Millionaires fighting billionaires.
Yeah, it'll be the worst thing for baseball, though.
What a world!
To actually go through this lockout. You just got the young audience. You just got the kids. It's not just the old guys watching baseball. You just are starting to build some traction, and now you take it away. They need to get their stuff together, man. I don't get it.
LA versus really space. As we go to the next topic here on LA versus space, and it's this one. Which holds more weight, the NFL Combine or a player's college career? 5 minutes on the clock for LA.
To me, this is a no-brainer. The underwear Olympics, that is the draft combine. That's nice. A guy can go in there and bench press the most and run a good 40-yard dash time and do all of these great things and look like the second coming of the second coming. And can he play football? What does he look like in pads? What does he look like on film? Does he miss assignments? Does he make the right reads? Does he form tackle? Does he run the right routes? Is he in the right area? Is he disciplined? Will he maintain his gap integrity? Will he follow his assignment? Can he audible out of assignment? Can he read plays and adjust on the fly? You can only find that out on game film. To me, this is a no-brainer. I don't have to give you a long thought-out answer. Game film, what he has done on the football field, to me counts far more than the combine. I mean, don't get me wrong, the combine can turn up whether or not a player has been injured, or whether or not he's going to be prone to injury, or whether or not he has some degenerative health issues and he may not be able to play very long. And some guys can raise their stock, but if I see a guy that performs well on the football field and then goes to the combine and performs even better at the combine, yes, you can increase your stock in my eyes, but I'm not going to draft you off the potential of what you've done, what you do in the NFL combine. I don't need to answer long for this one. To me, it's game film. What can you do? What do I see on film? What did you do when the lights were on, when other people were trying to tackle you, not a tackling dummy, and not a jugs machine throwing you the football? That's what I need to see.
What you just described was the actual eye test. You didn't not the bells and whistles, not all the things that goes into the NFL Combine. Which, first off, there are so many people that's not even attending the combine anymore. I'll work out on pro day, at my college and this and that. That's huge. It used to be to where you had to, and not to say you had to attend, but not, participating in the combine was a frowned upon thing. But it's more and more just like the Pro Bowl, excuse me, like the bowl games. Colleges, I don't know why, but they're going away from the bowl games and going away from the star players playing in the combine or even just showing their talents. It's a no-brainer. It's the eye test. What do you do on the field? You just broke it down. How do you make the right reads? How are you in the locker room? Are you a cancer in this locker room? Are you going to come and take the franchise that we're building and put us down the shitter? You know what I'm saying? Man, you got AJ Brown, a phenomenal athlete, but it seems like where he's going, whole Philly is all up in shambles. Y'all, there's no reason y'all shouldn't have repeated. No reason y'all shouldn't have been there. But your whole locker room is messed up by somebody in their own way. So it's the eye test. You have to show what you are when the lights are brightest and when, like you said, there's no dummies on the other side. You going against 11 on 11, man on man.
Mm-hmm.
How do you react? And then one of the key things that I love that you said, how do you play during adversity? The audible. I mean, can you read what's going on? Can you read the offense? You're a defensive guy. You know what I'm saying? Can you read? No, they're going to throw it here. I've seen this route before. I'm going to jump the route. The combine is, it's just for the show. It's for the, granted, there has been some phenomenal athletes coming through, and I'm excited. I became a fan of Sonny Styles. Is that how you? This man is phenomenal. I think we should go out and get him. I know he's not going to last to us. They got him projected going like 6 or 7, but this linebacker is. He seemed like he got everything. He can jump. He's fast as hell. He seems like I've been watching some film on him now. I really want him. Put him at the outside linebacker or put him at the defensive end, and oh man, we go to work with him. But the whole combine, it has a place. It has a minute place in how I'm going to draft you. I'm not going to see you have a workout and say, "Oh man, I need to draft Mitch Trubisky." I think he'd be. Let's move up.
Ryan. Okay, Ryan Pace. Okay, Ryan Pace.
Let's move up to go get Mitch. He wear the headset real nice. You know what I'm saying?
About 30 years ago, there was a kid by the name of Mike Mamula, and he won the Underwear Olympics, and he was drafted like 8th or in the top 10 for the Philadelphia Eagles, and he was a nobody. He just was not a football player, but he was great at that combine in 1995. I want to say it was. He bench pressed 225 pounds X amount of times. He ran a 40-yard dash time almost as fast as the corners, and he just was. And they fell in love with him. They drafted him, and a big fat no is what he turned out to be. That's what he turned out to be. So no, I don't trust it. Show me what the guy did on film.
It's nothing like evaluating players jumping out of a pool. I've seen that before. Jumping out of a swimming pool. Yep, Bears did that. You recall this, right? LA, the dude has jumped out the pool.
Yes. Oh my God. Oh,
that's actually a thing.
Yes, it is. The water resistance, how well they get up out. What? How many times are you gonna do that on Sundays? How many times are you gonna jump out of a pool on Sunday on NFL Sundays? No times, none, 0. Okay, I don't need to see it then. It doesn't matter. Not to me.
But also you brought it to
it was Jerron Gilbert who the Bears drafted 2009. He was known as pool jumper. Jerron Gilbert jumped out of a pool, like jumped out of the pool, and the Bears said, "Got to have him, the athleticism. Never mind about how much he could bench. Never mind about what he could do on the defensive side of the football. He could jump out of the pool. They drafted him. That's a real story.
There was another kid who looked like a world beater that the Bears drafted, Alonzo Spellman out of Ohio State. And someone said about him, his body's like a world beater and brain like an egg beater. And that was that. But this guy he looked the part. He looked the part. Physical specimen. Tall, rangy, long, ran fast, Couldn't shed blocks. Couldn't shed
Spa-
blocks.
Space, I need you to run to the kitchen and find an egg beater. Y'all have those at the house? Me and LA remember egg beater. Do you have any egg beater?
Not a chance. I'm about to Google it right now.
See that, LA? See?
Kids these days.
Kids
these days.
This young man doesn't have an egg beater in the home.
So
you beat your eggs back in the day.
You don't have one of those little blenders that you mix cake batter up with?
You got a special blender for it?
What?
You don't
A mixer.
See, no, we have the gun thing
whisk?
with the two. Is that a whisk? Is that what it's called? Where you just
that would be
use the gun thing?
Back in the day, you did it by hand, and that was an egg beater.
You learn something new every day.
Oh my God!
No,
do you know?
No,
LA,
you learned something today.
LA, I could take 5 steps from this studio to the kitchen
and get it. Same here.
Out the drawer and pull out an egg beater.
Same here. He can too. He just doesn't know that that's what it was once called. He can too.
Yeah, I guess not. I had no idea that was the professional name for it.
When you're eating good, you don't have to worry about what it's used. You don't need to know utensils. Just sit down and eat. Enjoy.
You can tell who doesn't know their way around the kitchen.
Now that's a fact. I mean, hey, I can tell you where everything's located though. I can tell you where the food
not
at.
Not the egg beater.
Oh yeah.
That's so great. we got a cultural divide on the egg beater. That's amazing. Hey, things you learn in LA versus Space. I'll tell you right now. Next topic is this one. Okay. Is this on you, Space? This is you? Okay.
Yeah.
I was so confused by this when this was sent in. And by the way, a nice look at San Francisco if you're watching on YouTube. A nice look at the skyline of San Francisco. See the Chase Center in the background. You know why? Because we have a high budget on this show, very high. So which is more important, the makeup of a basketball team or the moves in your bag? Okay, Space, you need to explain before I hit the timer on this why we're talking about this, so LA can respond. 5 minutes.
So Amon Shepard was on a podcast, and he came out, and there were athletes, and he had the choice between Kobe Bryant, between Kyrie Irving, between Steph Curry, and Derrick Rose. And they asked him who was the hardest person to guard. Now, he said, when I first came, it was Kobe, because Kobe could do it all. Kobe take you to the post. He could, Kobe had just a full bag. Everybody knows Kobe bag is just tremendous. But later it became Steph. Why? Because Steph ran off. He said, nobody knows Steph's bag, which is, I have to think about it. Like, okay, you kind of right. Nobody knows. Steph got handles, but he really don't show it. He said, when I was able to keep up with Steph, he said, okay, I got a trick for you. I'm going to come off 3, 4, 5 screens, make you try to keep up, and then and see what you can do there as a defender. Let's see how good you are when the rest of my team is involved. So that kind of sparked this question. Is it more important, and basically more important to have a strong foundation or is your bag? Is your bag? And I could go either way with this one. That's what's crazy with it. You take a player like Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant's bag is, oh my goodness. It's just, I've never seen a 6'10". Now, I didn't watch Bird, so I didn't see him live, but I've never seen a 6'10" player have a bag like Kevin Durant. Can take you off the dribble. That midi pull up is just phenomenal. He can shoot from the 3. Everything on the offensive end, there's not a thing that he cannot do. And then you could take a player like Steph, who don't have to cross you over. He doesn't have to do anything like that. And just, I'm gonna run off twists. I got the endurance of a race horse. I just run all day, and I'm just going to use the rest of my team and just spot up and shoot. Is it more important in today's game to have the bag or which team you in, what structure you're in? And in my opinion, I'm gonna lean right now towards the makeup of the team. The triangle offense is phenomenal. Phil Jackson made that a staple. He did it with the Bulls. He did it with the Lakers. The triangle offense. And when you break down a triangle offense, there's just so many options. There's so many different things you can do from the offense. Come get the ball at the high post. If you're Michael, go to work. Come set the screen. Okay, now you roll. And there's just so many options from it. I don't need to take you one-on-one. I don't need to cross you over, and get my buckets. I'm going to rely on the flow of the team. So, having a bag is so important. But I think where you are as a team, now it could also be a downside. If you go somewhere like I was going to say Charlotte, but Charlotte's kind of cooking right now. They're doing pretty good. I'm proud of Charlotte. But you go somewhere where the structure isn't as good, I guess you just got to have a bag. It depends on your coaching and your structure. But if you go to a team with a good coach, somebody who knows how to use you, who knows how to put people in position and knows how to call plays, I think the team is more important than your bag, than your own bag of skills. I think going to the right place is more important.
In college basketball, it's all absolutely the team. In today's NBA, it's all about having a quote unquote bag, which is how many different ways can you get to the basket and score the basket at will. And you say, Phil Jackson made the triangle great. No, Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan made the triangle great. Because you had those two guys at the end of the shot clock that can get any shot from anywhere on the floor at any time. And if they didn't get that shot off or they missed a shot, more than likely they were going to get fouled because they were so immensely talented offensively. And Jordan, if people will say, well, his bag was limited. He didn't need a big bag. He 1-2 dribble. He got wherever he wanted, however he wanted, whenever he wanted, and scored the basketball at a very efficient clip. It is extremely difficult, and I've done so myself, chasing a guy through a million screens, especially when you have Draymond Green as a guy who's allowed to set seven illegal screens per quarter for your entire career. He leads the league in illegal screens set. If you have that guy setting screens for you, I wouldn't want to be Iman Shumpert running and chasing behind a guy like Steph Curry. You don't need a bag when you have that type of team structure, and the rules allow a guy like Draymond Green to set illegal screens like that. To me, in team basketball, in college basketball, it's better to have that team concept that is outstanding. In the NBA today, it's all about the individual play because they're going to seek a pick and roll and get the mismatch. And my offensive skill is better than the guy's defensive skill that's guarding me. So it depends on which game you're playing, NBA or college basketball.
But I disagree. I hear what you're saying. It is about having your bag. But if you look at who won it, who won the chips, it ain't about who won some games or things. Think about who won the chip. You go to OKC. Yeah, Shea is the best player. Shea is the MVP of the league. But Shea also gets everybody involved too. Shea has a bag, but Shea gets,
he gets that superstar whistle. He gets that superstar
he does
whistle.
he shoots a lot of free throws. I agree. He shoots a lot of free throws.
And it's hard to guard a player like that, especially in today's NBA, when you allow them to carry the basketball, when you allow them to do the step back, when you allow them to basically carry, travel, and push off, and initiate the contact, which they said they were going to get away from. You allow an offensive player to do all of these things, and you tell a defensive player they have freedom of movement. You can't touch them. How are you going to stop a guy like that? You can't. Can you imagine Kobe Bryant playing under those rules? No. Can you imagine Michael Jordan playing under those rules? Can you imagine? You say you didn't see Larry Bird. He did everything that Kevin Garnett does today.
Durant?
He does everything, including running through screens if he needed to. Bird could do everything. Shoot it with either hand, drive to the basket. It didn't look as pretty because he wasn't as fluid athletically, but he was a decent athlete. So yeah, I think it depends on the game you're playing. College game, the team game matters more. In the NBA today, the individual talent and quote unquote bag matters more.
Look at the graphics there. Look at that space. See the bag? Don't you get it? Don't you see the shoes in there? There's a basketball in the bag. Shout out to the graphics team. Only the best for LA versus space.
My man Hoodie doing his thing over there. You hear me?
That's the team. The team put that together. It wasn't me. The cityscape of San Francisco. They did just for anything for you guys.
You knew you were going to bring Curry up. That's why they had San Francisco in the background.
It's an interesting conversation. It's a really interesting conversation you guys have because I was thinking about Steph Curry, right? Steph Curry in his career has never really had to show the bag because he's the greatest outside shooter we've ever seen. He shoots it from the moon, right? Yeah. So he doesn't have, but when he gets into his bag, fundamentally, you guys talk about going through screens and stuff. That guy has a motor. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how many miles that he runs, but him, LeBron, there's so many that you can look at him from a miles standpoint of how much that they run around the floor. But it's hard to catch up with that guy, man. He never is tired. I mean, yeah, he bites down on his mouth guard at times just to try to, but he never looks tired. So he's never really had to showcase the bag. And with Kevin Durant, it's funny. So we thought when he first came in the league, like, okay, so this is George Gervin, right? A big guy that could be able to step out, shoot the jumper from the outside, but he's shown like a whole bunch of skills. He can do so many things. He and Jokic, coaches have told me this, LA Space. They've told me, they said, you could ask Kevin Durant to be able to run 1 through 5 and say, okay, Kevin, show what you're supposed to do defensively 1 through 5, and he can do it. The two guys in particular, it's Jokic, the same thing. Jokic, run the point, and he'll run the point and just do what the point guard does. Okay, now do what the 2, 3, 4, 5 does, and he can do that same thing. And KD can do the same thing. It just shows the IQ and the ability of these one-of-one great basketball players.
Yeah. Don't sell one LeBron, Raymond James short either. I believe he could probably do the same things on all 5 positions as well, knowing what to do. It's one thing to be able to do those things today. But if you go to a bygone era, a guy like Kevin Durant would not go run. He would not go in that paint against the 4s and 5s back in the day. That
you
would be bad.
Think his game translates to
that would be bad. That would be
yesterday's
bad
NBA.
That would be really bad for him. If he had to go down and guard a Charles Barkley and a Karl Malone and a Buck Williams, that would be really bad for him. And Kevin Willis of the world, that would not go well for him.
He's still what did they call him? He's still lighting the ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That would be really bad for him.
I agree when it comes to defense, but then you got to guard me too. That's the problem.
Correct. But see, back then we could switch off. We could switch off. We had cross matches. I could put the small forward on you. I could do that. But if and he would have to do it. So basically, you would have to start another big who can't guard the small forward on my team. It's a trade-off. It's a trade-off. And then certain guys, their skill levels transcend any era. Kevin Durant would be a outstanding basketball player in any era of basketball. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he couldn't play back in the day. Absolutely he could, because he has a special set of skills. He could play and he can get a basket at any time, any place in NBA history. But today's game is devoid of physical presences in the paint. You can't name me 5 guys who play exclusively with their back to the basket who's a high volume scorer.
That's a
you
fact.
Just can't.
I agree.
You just can't. And when I hate to go back to the days of yesteryear, but when Jordan was drafted into the league, I'll never forget Bobby Knight saying, "Well, what are you going to draft this guy that high for? He doesn't play center." And Bobby Knight said, "Well, then play him at center." And then when he came into the league and was leading the league in scoring, the word out in the street was, "You're not going to win a championship with a 2-guard leading your team in scoring.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to win a championship with a guy leading the league in scoring." And then Jordan broke that mold 6 times over. Yeah. He did something that had never been done, because you had back in the day, the game was always played inside out. The ball went into the post. The big man, he either scored, got fouled, got double teamed, and kicked the ball out and let everyone else cook. And Jordan came in and it's like, okay, no, we not going to do that because this guy's so special. And it changed the game. It literally changed the way that the game is played, which pretty much revolutionized it morphed into the game that we see today. Because everyone wants to handle the ball. Even Victor Wembanyama, with all of his size, he has the skills of a guard. And that's the way the game is played today. You'll see him go into the paint every now and then, but hey man, back then, get the ball in the paint, back to the basket every single possession. That's where he was going to play. That was his station in life. He's the newer version of Ralph Sampson. You remember Ralph Sampson, Hoodie? Ralph Sampson could do
Yeah.
everything, but he wanted to play like a guard. But they were like, no, go in the paint. What are you doing? Yeah, see, you don't even know what that
let
is.
me check out the Google machine.
Ralph Sampson was 7'4", player of the year out of Virginia, and he was playing with. He led in his second season the Houston Rockets to the NBA Finals against the Boston Celtics. Him and
Correct.
Hakeem Olajuwon, they formed the original Twin Towers, and they upset the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals in LA, and went on to the finals.
Space, you know who Olajuwon is, right?
Oh, come on now, come on, don't not the dream. Come on now, don't
ask.
Don't do me like that now.
Gotta ask. Gotta ask.
Well, Sampson came into the league a year before Olajuwon, and what they did was they brought him in and they wanted to move one up to power forward, and Sampson just couldn't stay healthy, and his career didn't go the way that it could have and should have, because he had all the talent and he could do a good percentage of the things that Wembanyama could do. He couldn't handle the ball quite like Wembanyama could, because he wasn't afforded that opportunity. Because you go in the paint, you go on the block, you get the ball. You're not going to be dribbling the ball anywhere. But he could handle the ball, just not like Wemby.
All right, time for a toss-up. What else is on your mind for 5 minutes? What other topic did you? I saw on here March Madness Final Four predictions. Like, can we get to the conference tournaments? You already have your Final Four space. I mean, like, I don't have a Final Four yet. Can we just see, like, before we
right now my Final Four picks are it's like a hand of spades. I have 3 in a possible, and I got to wait until the conference championships are finished before I can have my 4 books in my hand. Right now, I have 3 in a possible.
Let me see it. I'm gonna see it. Let me see it. LA, let me see your hands. Is there chalk on them? Let me just see how much. Okay, let me see some chalk on it. Let me see how many number 1 seeds you got out there. Because I mean, listen, it is early March. I can't tell you who's going. I did a topic. So I was talking to Myron Metcalf. You can go check out my conversation with Myron Metcalf. Covers college basketball for ESPN, writer, broadcaster. And I said, I hate to ask you, Myron. I said, but would you take Duke or the field? He goes, oh, Hoodie, you got to look at the field. Like, there's so many teams because the portal. That's what because he says, like, it's hard to be able to lock down a favorite because there's so many good teams out there. You don't know who's going to get hot. It could be anybody. And he says, nothing against Duke. Duke has played some of the best college basketball out there. Michigan in there as well. Ask Illinois as they paddled their ass on Friday. But the point is, though, is like it's difficult. That portal, boy, you never know who's going to be hot.
Michigan, Arizona's been playing some really good basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know which Kansas team is going to show up and whether or not there'll be a complete team. And some people sit out like they're in the NBA already. But that's a whole other subject for another day.
So what is on your mind, guys? You have 5 more minutes left for the show. What do you two want to talk about?
LA, you put something out there also.
Remind me. Give me a refresher. I didn't take my Genco this morning.
You put something. Oh man, that kid with the 30-something years old playing in college.
Oh, the kid who played at Auburn last year, Baker Mazzara. He's playing at USC, and they say that he's 28 years old. First of all,
32.
Well, that's the rumor that he's a 32-year-old allegedly playing college basketball, and he was asked to leave USC this year team, and that's the rumor as to why. I don't know if there's any validity to it. I haven't read it from any credible sources, but I did read that he was 28. How are you still playing college basketball? Don't you have a family and a 401k and a 401k? What the hell are you still playing college basketball?
This man got been gay. He had it all over him.
I don't get it, man. I mean, I'm all for the kids in college being paid because they are generating the revenue. But at the same time, you allowing kids to not kids. You are allowing grown-ass men to remain enrolled in college. Hell, I still have 4 years of eligibility.
That's
No,
what I,
what the
that's what I
hell?
was getting to. If he hasn't used his eligibility, let him play. That's all I'm saying. He needs to be somewhere else. I agree. You playing with kids now. You know, you still got people who still going through their growth spurt, and you out there with it, but you look like a kid. You know,
With a 401k.
with
What? I mean, come on, man.
it's hey,
Life insurance
NIL does it.
policy.
NIL does it.
There needs to be some tweaks to NIL, and that's a whole nother subject for we can do an entire show on the NIL and the transfer portal and how ridiculous it is. Kids are transferring mid-season, sharing the playbook with other teams. It's just
but
something
here's
has
the
to
thing.
be done.
No, but if you're going to change NIL, you have to change the coaches' ways also. Yeah, there's no reason why you need to tell me I need to commit and I need to be here for 4 years. But you're going to get a contract and another school is going to offer you something, your dream destination, and you're going to take off. I came to this school because of you. And now you're telling me I need to stay?
No one's going to schools for a coach anymore. Players are going to school to get what Steph Curry and Kyrie had, that bag. That's why they're going to school nowadays. They aren't going for coaches anymore. They're not going for atmospheres or cheerleaders or being on TV anymore. They're going to get that money. Let's just be real about it. It's all about the money now. That's it.
I agree. It is about the money, but it's got to be fair. You can't change
It'll
one.
never be fair. It'll never be fair. Let's first and foremost, let's get that out of your head. It will never be fair. There will always be the haves and the have-mores.
Yeah.
It will. It's just like the pending doom for this baseball season. Baseball players are halves. The owners have more. That's what it's all about. So it will never be fair. It will never be fair. Never.
I'm not, and maybe I used the wrong word. Maybe fair isn't the word. It's got to be some type of comp to it. It's got to be some type of regulation to it. I don't see a world where you say this kid has to stay, but the coach can leave. I don't. That's just. There's no way I see the college messed up. They did it all wrong. Y'all should have came up with rules and regulations in the beginning. And now you see this is out of control, and now you want to change things. I don't see a world where you allow the college play or make them stay, which is unfair to the schools. It's unfair to the fans and everything that these players just bounce and everything. I don't like it, but I don't see a world where you can regulate the players and not regulate the coaches.
It makes it really difficult to even follow the sport if you're a casual fan.
Yes.
Because like when me and Hoodie were coming up, we tuned in to see Virginia play against Georgetown for 3 years. We knew we were going to see Ralph Sampson against Patrick Ewing. Wouldn't you sign up for that right now today to see AJ DeSponsa go against the kid from Kansas for 3 seasons, knowing that those same rosters would be intact? You could name that starting lineup for 3 years and no. It's a much better watch because you got a kid today. He's at Cal, and then you blink. Wait a minute, when did he transfer to Georgia? And then he's not on the roster anymore. What do you mean? Next year he enrolled at Lehigh. What the hell is he doing?
Lehigh.
This mug said Lehigh.
The kid Ace Bailey, who played at UCLA. Then he went and played some NBA games, and now he's going to transfer to a school, Grand Canyon University. What? He's already playing in the NBA.
That's
still
insane.
Going back to college. So that's why I use Lehigh, because Grand Canyon, Lehigh, what's the difference?
Well,
come on now.
Much warmer weather and a lit crowd. But the point is, though, is that for some of these guys, LA, I know space, it doesn't make sense. For some of these guys, college pays more.
Yes.
That's correct, and that should not be.
And that's the one thing you can say this this whole paying the college players has done. It's got rid of the one and done. We're not in that era anymore. The one and done, that's pretty much over with.
No, it's not. No, it's not, because Carlos Boozer's son is not staying in school.
No, I agree.
He's not
you have the elite of the elite. You have the elite of elite that's still going. But there's plenty of talented players that's that's going to get that bag in college. You know,
But definitely on the women's side, Flau'jae Johnson
yeah.
is still at LSU. She's gonna be there for a decade.
Yeah,
She's getting paid
don't,
well.
Just don't talk to her mother. Just don't talk to her mother.
All right, 50. Just be careful now. All right, 50 said.
I'm
Don't
not
tell somebody's
disparaging her.
mother now. Okay.
I'm not disparaging her mother. I'm just a proponent of, if you are a relative of a high-profile athlete, let them do the talking to the media. Let them post on social media. You withhold unless they give you the green light and say, "Hey, mom, go say these things for me." No, don't do that. Don't do that. That kid earned their way. They made their way. You chose your path in life, and your child didn't come up to your job cursing out your boss, telling your boss what to do. Don't do that to them. Don't do that to that kid. Don't take that shine off that kid. Don't make it about you. Don't make it about you. Don't do
unless you're LeVar Ball. That man, he had the blueprint right there. That man came out and my boy's going to the NBA. He came out and he did all the networking he needed to do to put his kids on the map. And I
prefer
LeVar for that.
I prefer the fathers of my athletes to be like the Holiday boys' father.
Oh,
their father, Sean Holiday. He put 4 boys in the NBA, and you didn't even know his name. I'm all for that. Do it behind the scenes. You don't have to politic, be loud and boisterous. If your kids can play, they will be noticed and they will make the league. We don't need you with a bullhorn.
Look it up.
Sean
right next.
Holiday put 4 sons in the NBA. 4, and
Aaron
people don't know
Holiday,
his name.
Drew Holiday.
No. I need you to look that up, Space, along with the egg beater. Look that up, that name, Sean Holiday. Look that up. And Ralph Sampson. You got homework. Ralph Sampson, Sean Holiday, egg beater. Look those things up. All in order.
Timex. We need you to be on time.
Oh, yes. Look up Timex. Yes, look that up too. Yes. Gentlemen, as always, another spirited edition of LA versus Space. Thank you very much.
Man, we appreciate y'all. Hey, good job, fellas. Hey, appreciate y'all for holding me down. Everybody, like, subscribe. We love y'all.
Here.
Oh man, Under the Hood, you doing big things over here, Jay Hood.
Yes, because of you.
Yes, he is, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Glad to be a part of it.
We're presented to you by Marriott Bonvoy, folks. Marriott Bonvoy. Think about this. We're nearly 10,000 hotels worldwide. You can find a participating property in almost any major city or remote destination. Think about the diverse brand portfolio, the program that covers every segment of travel, luxury, premium, even select and mid-scale for space, like Courtyard by Marriott and other places like that. When he's got to take the kids, he chooses Courtyard by Marriott. And if you're LA, it's luxury. The Ritz-Carlton, JW Marriott, St. Regis. When he goes to golfing trips, top shelf. That's what LA does. So make sure either way, no matter what, check out Marriott Bonvoy. That's where you go for the best as far as luxury. Make sure you click my link, by the way, for Marriott Bonvoy so you can get your savings as well. Be part of their portfolio at Marriott Bonvoy. A great edition of LA versus Space. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and comment to everything we do on Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. And next time we talk to the guys, March Madness right around the corner. So LA, I'm going to need you to pass me the the phone number and also the number that's on the shirt of K-Town Mo. Let me know that, because I know it's a certain number that you got to call for the orange jumpsuit. So just let me know. Okay,
I'll make sure you get his number, bro. But by the time, matter of fact, I'm going to send you the contact information while we're here right now, just so I don't forget. I'm going to be with him this Saturday, by the way, and we're going to talk about it some more. But I'm going to pass you his information right away.
Okay, I know lights out for him at 8:30. So I just want
I'm gonna let him address this.
I understand that lights out, so he can't have calls at a certain time. So maybe I'll reach out to him in the morning. When the warden says it's okay. We will see if the warden will allow K-Town Mo. And I don't know, can you get a video in there where he is? Is it okay?
Hey man, you guys get whatever they want in the spot today because the guards say so.
So we need K-Town Mo because we need to get his picks, because by the time we come back around again on LA versus Space, we will have some brackets, and so we need some picks because Hey man, it's a great time of year. So much going on. So look forward to hearing from K-Town Mobe and help us out with our brackets.
Got you. Just send them the information. Sent you the information. You should have it on your phone.
Oh,
I'll
boy.
let them know that you'll be contacting them. And yeah, just he's got some great stories, man, about Iman and man, he's just it's hilarious, man. You've met him before. He just the guy is funny without trying to be funny, man. He's just a character. I love him to death, man.
I look forward to being able to reach out during hours he can be on the phone so we can arrange for him. Yes, I will do that. Yes, I will totally do that for K-Town Mo. Thanks so much for checking out LA versus Space at Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. So long, everybody.